Now let's just move on further and let's talk about the question number 3, which says that in which quadrant or on which axis do each of the points lie. Verify your answer by locating them. So let us suppose we are taking the xy plane again, or the Cartesian plane, or the coordinate plane again. So it says, the question says in which quadrant these lie. You have to verify it by locating. So let's just locate these points and then verify. So first of all, we have the point as -2, 4. So let us suppose I'm taking them as A, B, C and D. So A is -2, 4. B, I'm taking the point B as 3, -1. I'm taking C as -1, 0. D as 1, 2, and E as -3, -5. So we do know that this is nothing but our first quadrant, and in the first quadrant both of the signs are always positive. In the second quadrant, X is negative, Y is positive. In the third quadrant, both of them are always negative. In the fourth quadrant, X is positive and Y is negative. So let's just talk about the point A first. It is -2, 4. It is negative positive. So obviously it will lie in the second quadrant because the abscissa is negative and the ordinate is positive. So it will lie in the second quadrant. So let's just locate it over here. We have -2 and 4. So -2 is nothing but this point. So let's just draw a perpendicular distance from -2. So -2, we have to go till 4. So this is nothing but my 4. We have to go till 4. So this is 4. And let us suppose I'm joining it again. So this is nothing but my perpendicular distance. From the point -2 and from the point or from the number 4, and both of them are joining at this particular point, and thus this is nothing but called as A, and it is lying in the second quadrant as we can see over here. So A -2, 4 lies on the second quadrant. So let us suppose I'm writing QUAD instead of the whole quadrant. So A -2, 4 lies on the second quadrant. Let's just further move on towards the point B. So the point B has the coordinate as 3, -1. So it is positive, negative. Positive, negative means it is lying in the fourth quadrant. Positive, negative. So let's just locate this point B. It is 3, -4. So 3 means our abscissa is 3. So 3 is over here. Let's just extend it over here. And it says -1. So this is -1. So the perpendicular distance from 3 is of this form. The perpendicular distance from -1, let's just take a perpendicular distance from -1. So this is my perpendicular distance from -1. So hence this perpendicular distance, wherever they are meeting each other, this point of intersection is nothing but called as the point B. So this is 3, -1, and definitely it is lying in the fourth quadrant, as we can see from this. After means locating it on the Cartesian plane or on the XY plane, we can verify that it is lying in the fourth quadrant. So the B, that is 3, -4, lies on fourth quadrant. It lies on the fourth quadrant. Let's just talk about C. C -1, 0 lies on. So let's just talk about the C. We have C as -1, 0. It means it is of the type x, 0. It is of the type x, 0, and the coordinates or the point that do have the coordinates as x, 0, they always lies on the x-axis. We are already aware about this concept that the point that lies on the x-axis are always of the form x, 0, and the sign of x will tell us that either it is lying on the positive of x-axis, either it is lying on the negative of x-axis. So as x being the negative of 1 over here, it is definitely lying on the negative of x-axis. So we do know that this is nothing but our x, this is nothing but our x dash. So this is our negative of x-axis. So the point is -1, 0. So it means x negative x, that is -1 is over here. So this is nothing but -1, 0, and hence this is the point C. So C -1, 0 lies on the negative x-axis. It lies on the negative x-axis. We can write it as capital of X as well. We can write it as small of x as well. So it is lying on the negative of x-axis. Now let's just move on further and talk about the D. D is 1, 2. D is 1, 2. So 1, 2 means 1 is positive, 2 is positive. So it lies in the first quadrant, positive, positive. D is 1, 2. So 1 is over here. So let me extend it till 2. So 2 is over here. So 1 is this and 2 is over here. This is my 2 and this is the perpendicular distance. Always use graph, as we are definitely using a graph, and let's just extend this perpendicular distance. Let's just extend this perpendicular distance. You can also use scale if we wanted to draw a perpendicular distance. Obviously, with the help of scale, we can draw this perpendicular distance more accurately. So let us suppose I am extending it over here. This is my 1, and as we can see over here, the perpendicular distance from 1, the perpendicular distance from 2, wherever they are joining each other, so let us suppose I'm extending it more further. This is my perpendicular distance, this is my perpendicular distance. So let us suppose I'll erase it first and then I'll join it again. So let us suppose I'll erase it and then I'll join it. So now let us suppose after erasing it, we are joining it again. So this is the perpendicular distance from 1. So this is my perpendicular distance. You can use scale as well, like I just said before. So furthermore, we can join it with 2. Okay, so this is my perpendicular distance again. So both of them, wherever they are joining with each other, so this point is definitely called as D point, whose coordinates are 1, 2, and definitely it is lying in the first quadrant. So hence D 1, 2 lies on the first quadrant. It lies on the first quadrant, as we can see over here. So let's just move on further toward E. E is minus means negative and negative. It means it is lying in the third quadrant. Negative and negative means it is lying in the third quadrant. So it says abscissa is -3. So let's just look out for the abscissa -3. This is my minus of 3. So let's just extend it. Let's just extend it further. We have to extend it till ordinate as minus of 5. So minus of 5 is at this point. It is at this point. So let's just extend it like this, and furthermore we have to extend it in the direction of minus of 5. So this is a perpendicular distance again. So this is a perpendicular distance again, and after joining it with minus of 5, this point is nothing but called as my point E, which is definitely lying on the third quadrant. So E point, that is -3, -5, lies on the third quadrant. So this is all about locating or finding out that in which quadrant all such kind of coordinates lie. So always remember the sign conventions of the different quadrants, that in the first quadrant we do have both abscissa ordinate as positive, in the second quadrant we have negative positive, in the third we have negative and negative, and in the fourth we have positive and negative. So this is all about the question number 3.